My friend, gather round. Let me tell you a story. A story about time, that most precious of treasures, and the way it weaves its magic into our lives. It begins in a small village, nestled in a valley where the days felt long, yet the years slipped away like a whisper in the wind. There lived a young woman named Anna. Anna was bright, ambitious, and kind-hearted, but she often felt stuck. Every morning she'd wake up, go to the same job, and dream of a better future. A future where she could travel the world, write her novel, or start her own business. But those dreams always seemed to stay just that, dreams. One evening, after another day of trudging through the mundane, Anna stumbled upon a small, dusty shop she'd never noticed before. Above the door hung a faded sign, the Clockmaker's workshop. Curious, she stepped inside. The shop was filled with clocks of every kind, grandfather clocks that seemed to hum with wisdom, tiny pocket watches ticking away like miniature heartbeats, and peculiar contraptions that didn't seem to mark time at all. Behind the counter sat an elderly man with eyes that sparkled like the night sky. "Ah, welcome," said the clockmaker, his voice warm and crackling like a fire on a cold night. "You've come to learn about the magic of time, haven't you?" Anna laughed nervously. "Magic? I don't know why I came in, really." The clockmaker smiled knowingly and gestured to a peculiar clock on the wall. Its hands moved erratically, sometimes racing forward, sometimes creeping back. "This," he said, "is the clock of regret. It shows how much time people lose dwelling on the past." Anna's chest tightened as she watched the chaotic hands spin. "I've spent too much time looking back," she whispered. The clockmaker nodded and guided her to another clock, this one with no hands at all. "This is the clock of someday," he explained. "It marks the time wasted waiting for the perfect moment." Anna stared at the blank face of the clock. How often had she said, "I'll start tomorrow," or "maybe next year"? "But," the clockmaker said, his eyes twinkling, "there's one more clock you need to see." He led her to a mirror framed in gold, ticking softly like a heartbeat. "This," he said, "is the clock of now." Anna looked into the mirror and saw her reflection. The ticking grew louder, and she felt it, a pulse of urgency and potential. "What's special about this one?" she asked. The clockmaker leaned closer, his voice low. "It shows you the truth. Time is magic only when you act. The past is gone, the future isn't promised, but now is where the magic happens." Something shifted inside Anna at that moment. She realized that time, that invisible thread binding all her dreams, wasn't slipping away, it was waiting for her to pick up the needle and start stitching the life she wanted. The next morning, Anna began. She didn't wait for perfection or permission. She wrote the first page of her novel. She set up a tiny online shop for her handcrafted jewelry. She even booked a ticket to a nearby city she'd always wanted to explore. Each action was small, but with every tick of the clock they added up. Years later, Anna returned to the clockmaker's workshop, but it was gone. In its place was a note nailed to the door. "Time is your most valuable treasure. Use it wisely." And so, my friend, the lesson is clear. Time is the great equalizer. We all get the same 24 hours a day. But what makes the difference is how we use them. Don't let the clock of regret or the clock of someday steal your magic. Look into your own clock of now and start where you are. Write that page, make that call, take that step. Because, as the clockmaker said, time isn't slipping away, it's waiting for you.